You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The Herons are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Battered Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 469 of the Battered Herons podcast. I'm your host, Dayne St. Alongside me should be Mr. KBD. He's running a bit late, and I see Hey Jab is saying that we sneakily tried to avoid the "you're late" comments. Now, let me quickly explain to you what happened. For some reason, they were showing up like we had two episodes going on at the same time. No idea why. And as I was trying to figure that out, I kept trying to erase one and put the other one back up. I ended up just erasing everything and putting up a brand new one. So sorry for those of you that were in the waiting room for the old episode. We're here now. We're cocked, locked, and ready to go, just like Jorge Mas in the front office. They just keep stacking. Mr. KBD, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Listen, I think the fact that Inter Miami is going out here and just taking the best goalie of the year, I mean, that just shows you the ambition that they have. It's wild.
Are you still upset about letting
going
Rocco
through
go?
Minnesota. A little bit. I think he'd still be a good backup. I think getting rid of Ustadi is the smarter move.
You have to.
I just went through.
I'm assuming. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's so bad against the books right now. And I just went through Minnesota United's Twitter. They said goodbye to St. Clair. I just love the agony that the Loon fans are facing right now because of this. And so many of them are like, oh my God, Inter Miami, they have so much money, illegal movements. Get out. Fucking
well, and Justin with a great point here. He just wanted to avoid playing in the blizzards of Minnesota. Yeah. Are we still getting the officially licensed?
Doesn't get he's gonna get an officially licensed beach towel is what he's gonna get. Because he's coming when we're in Miami proper.
Yeah, man. It's something that we're not accustomed to. I don't think anybody's accustomed. You know what? Let me take that back. Because the top teams in the world are accustomed to that, right? For example, Real Madrid wins the Champions League, and then the next year they go ahead and what do? They sign Mbappe. Like the top teams are accustomed to things like this, where you are the best, and then it's like, you know what? Let's bring something else aboard, and it's like, what? I remember Real Madrid won the Champions League back in 2014. Then the World Cup comes. James Rodriguez is like the biggest name after the World Cup because he won the Golden Boot. They're like, okay, let's bring on James Rodriguez. Let's bring on Toni Kroos. And they had just won the Champions League. And these are the type of moves that these big clubs are used to making, right? Like you just won the league. All right, now let's bring on the best keeper in the league. And it's Inter Miami is changing the way that the MLS teams are going to be moving in the future. People are just upset because nobody's caught up yet. We're the only ones doing it. But eventually other teams are going to catch up. But as of right now, we're the only ones moving this way, and it's pretty fun.
Well, and not only that, but the funniest part about it is you could tell like Inter Miami's not settling. And then to top it off, you have, I mean, we're not the LA Galaxy, by the way. Shout out to I hope Edgar's not on here, but we're not the LA Galaxy. We're not settling.
There's no way he's on here. Right now in LA, it's 3:30 in the morning.
So that's fantastic. And shout out to you guys in the chat. Much appreciated. And Pedri, nice one here. Finally, a good North American player based on merit too. And I'm not going to read the rest because that's just garbage. And we got Kem Axel. Shout out with you with the $20 Super Slam. Wishing you all an amazing day.
Much appreciated, Kem.
And this is new. I've never seen this before. At Miami Mac said become a YouTube member. Nice.
Miami Mac, you're the first one. Chris and I never wanted to do a Patreon because we just didn't want. I don't know. I thought it was weird.
We didn't find
Right.
we didn't find an organic way to do it.
Yeah, we thought that it was weird, but YouTube apparently has something where you can become a member and just support the channel, and which we really do appreciate if you do.
Yes.
We did it like a week ago. We haven't brought it up because again, we're awkward that way. We don't really, but we do appreciate the super slams, and for those of you that want to become members, Miami Mac, the first one, much appreciated. Obviously, like I tell you all the guys, it's not. The reason our graphics are so basic, like you just saw just a random picture of St. Clair just right in the middle of us. Well, because we don't really have time to do this, but we still managed to do our best and bring as much content as possible, even though we got 3 kids, wives, and full-time jobs or whatever. So if you guys support the channel, we really do appreciate it. It makes it a little easier to explain to the wife why I'm jumping on again. But again, and that's enough about that. All right.
Now,
go ahead, Chris.
I just before you make your comment, I just want to say, like, I still love that Minnesota's crying. 13 hours ago, they just put a post on Facebook and Instagram. Moments we'll never forget. Good job, buddy. You got Gressel. We got St. Clair.
Waking up in LA. So we were just talking about Edgar's probably sleeping because he's in LA. Thuan is up and about. So shout out to you. All right. So yes, and Leagues Cup has been announced. It starts in August, end of September. We're gonna get into that, I'm sure, at some point later on. But not for this episode. This episode is just talking about how we're just mollywopping the league with our signings. So we re-signed what I would assume and I hope is the best backup striker in the league. Yes or no? Luis Suarez is the best backup striker in the league?
Yeah. If he's going to be the backup, then he is the backup, yes.
And the loaner, I got some stuff for you because he wants to know more about the goalkeeper. I'm gonna tell you, and you're probably not gonna like it. So best backup. We re-signed or we kept Rodrigo De Paul, right? 17 mil buyout fee. We solidified our midfield with Rodrigo De Paul and what's his face? Yannick Bright.
And Yannick Bright.
We're still trying to keep Allende, which I think the more the time passes, I think it might not happen. But still trying to keep Allende. We still have Sid Betty. We just re-upped on right back, which everybody's saying is left back, which everybody's saying that may not be as good as Jordi Alba, but he's still going to be good, which I don't doubt, right? He's played in the biggest leagues.
I mean, that's
I definitely don't think he's going to be bad. We'll see how good he is. Hopefully he's really good, but I don't think he's bad. We re-signed the Infray, which can be a backup right back, starting center back, backup center back. Like, he's just a really good piece to have. And then apparently we're going to get another starting right back. So we won the championship how long ago? Today's the 18th.
9 days ago.
Well, 12 days ago. It's been 12 days.
12 days ago.
12 days ago. And we've done all this. And now we just signed the player that won Goalkeeper of the Year in this league. So the loaner wants to talk about
and goalkeeper for Canada.
But to the national team. So I've known about St. Clair. We do the MLS show, which if you guys haven't, check out Battered MLS fans. We did our 100th episode last night with Tony Husband, the play-by-play announcer for Apple TV. It was a fun episode. We were talking about if Miami is good or bad for the league and a bunch of other stuff about the MLS. So if you're bored after this and you still want some more content, Battered MLS fans, it was a great show with Tony. Again, it was 100th episode.
Tony Husband, yep.
So we got to know a lot more about St. Clair this year since we've been watching a lot more MLS across the league, especially Chris, because he was doing those blocking videos.
Yes, the goalkeeper. Yes, I was doing the goalkeeper videos. That was fantastic.
So I went ahead and I reached out because we've gotten to know some people across the league, and I started reaching out to some people from Minnesota. And my first question was, how is he with his feet? Because remember, we thought Drake. I thought that he was a good shot stopper, but not great with his feet. So everybody's like, no, he can't play with us. Uftari, go with his feet. That's why he got the nod. That's what everybody was telling us.
Of course.
But from what I heard from Minnesota is that he is not good with his feet. That he has little by little improved, but he is not good with his feet. So that begs the question, is that going to be an issue? Because we like to play out the back. Teams like to press us high. And that was the thing about Ustari, right? He was good with his feet. That was the whole selling point. If he's not good with his feet, are you still as excited? Because we had this conversation about Kalina from Charlotte. Remember when everybody's like, oh my God, but Drake sucks with his feet. Drake sucks with his feet. And I said, well, if you can get Kalina, which was the best keeper the year prior for Charlotte, would you want him? Because he's also not good with his feet. And everybody's like, yeah, I guess I would still want him. Some people said no. What do you think? And Solana apparently said that he's good with his feet. Solana is wrong because I was talking to people from Minnesota, which watch him week in and week out. Go ahead, Chris.
I think I think the thing here with St. Clair is, I mean, clearly he is above and beyond a great goalie, just in terms of what his primary job is. Now, as far as being good with his feet, I mean, do you think maybe the goalkeeping coaches looked at him and said, well, I mean, he's as good as Rocco, right? I mean, I think Rocco was pretty good with his feet myself, but maybe they looked at it and said, if we can get a guy that's like Rocco Blocco in terms of with his feet, but then he's also a dynamic blocker, then, I mean, it's a win, right? I mean, does he necessarily have to be good with his feet? Like, I think if you're blocking shots, I mean, I understand the whole aspect of being good with your feet built from the back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, like, I mean, is that really something that's so important for Inter Miami? That's a good question, I think.
I think it's a little overdone, right?
This is a good point. Pedri's saying, from what I've seen, he's good at long balls, which is true, because I have seen on a lot of highlights, he is very pinpoint with his accuracy with the long balls.
With the long balls, yes. But generally, Miami doesn't play that way. They build up the back, right? And again, I think it's a little overblown. I think if you're a good shot stopper, which a lot of people say St. Clair is, I mean, I think that is what you want more than anything. And then the feet are an extra. Now, again, in this conversation that I had with the Loons, he said that his distribution has gotten better over the past year. So apparently he wasn't great, but he's been improving, right? And like people said that, I saw somebody in the chat said that he can improve. So apparently he has been improving. And
he's really good at penalties.
This is one other thing that they said, and I trust these people, right? Because right now they were telling me about how lucky we are because he is a good player. So I asked them, so what are the negatives? What are the negatives to St. Clair? And this is what they wrote. And shout out to the Loons and the Lunacy podcast, right? Because they're pretty transparent with everything. The biggest thing with him is the communication with his defenders. If they're all on the same page, he's good. If there's a lack of communication and he gets frustrated, things go downhill fast. He was better about that this year, so hopefully he will grow a bit in that department. So apparently he gets frustrated with his defenders a lot.
He's
and when
kind of
that
like
happens, thinks that's not a good thing. Now, does he speak Spanish? Because he's gonna have to. And I'm sure that that whole Spanish English thing is a little overblown, also because you can figure out how to communicate on the pitch. There's only a few words that you really need. But could you imagine him and Falcon bitching at each other?
Well, but all right. So we have CJ Dos Santos back, basically. Because, like, when CJ Dos Santos was a goalkeeper, he gets scored on. He's, like, furious, screaming at everybody. Like, if he is Jesus H and everybody else is a peasant. And I guess that's okay. And he's gotten better with it. It sounds to me like all of the negatives that you're saying, the Lunacy podcast is also saying, well, he's getting better at that. And I mean, Jason Luna is saying he speaks French. We don't have Coco Jean anymore.
Well, he's Canadian. A lot of Canadians speak French.
Yeah.
So look, I think he's a good keeper. If he's not that great with his feet, I think that's a little overblown. I think he'll be fine. I thought that the insight with
shout out to Nick, dual citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Spanish French is taught in schools. Yes.
Oh, I thought he was joking because we've been talking about Trinidad and Tobago so much.
Yeah, Probably is. Who knows?
So not the best with his feet, but has improved. Good shot stopper. Apparently gets easily frustrated and maybe taken out of his game when he gets frustrated with the back line. I don't think that's horrible either. I see goalkeepers getting upset when their back line plays horribly all the time. The last point that I want to bring up, and then I'll let you go ahead. And yes, the loaner, he will occupy an international slot, I believe, because he's Canadian.
I was wondering that.
Yeah, I believe he does. My last thing with Mr. St. Clair. He won Keeper of the Year because they had statistically the second best defense in the league. They allowed, I think, one more goal than the Philadelphia Union. I think it was like 38 goals. Philadelphia allowed 37, something like that, right? So, okay. And shout out to Nick. It was the comment about him being from Trinidad and Tobago and knowing Spanish and French was legit. So shout out to you, Nick.
Nice.
So, okay. A lot of times the best defensive player is usually selected off of the best defensive team or one of the best defensive teams. I'm sorry, goalkeepers. Charlotte last year, this year St. Clair. My thing with St. Clair and the clean sheets and how good the defense looked is, if you look Minnesota from last year, I believe historically in the 30 years of the MLS, they were the team that held possession the least amount of time percentage-wise in the 30 years of the league's existence. Meaning they just defended. They just parked the bus all game long and played the counter. So does that contribute to the defense, to the clean sheet?
The frustration?
Yeah. I'm not saying that St. Clair wasn't good, but I'm saying that he didn't face as many shots as he's going to face with Miami's high line. With Miami's high line, he's going to have to be active, whereas he was playing behind a low block a historic low block all of last season. So, and I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, right? I think it's cool. I think it's great that we got St. Clair, but I like to play. If you haven't watched the show enough, I enjoy playing devil's advocate. I like to play both sides. I like debating. Okay, so I'm just going to give you both sides. So that's one thing that I looked at, and I thought that was very interesting. I said, okay, so Minnesota, far and away, just never held possession. I think it was like 30%, like the whole season. Like it was something crazy. So he didn't face a lot of one-on-one opportunities and things of that nature. Whereas in Miami, he's going to have to be on his A game because he's not going to be protected like he was in Minnesota. So that is one thing that I started thinking about that is going to be interesting to see.
Well, I think, look, and the loaner brought up a good comment here. Just happy on paper that he is a better upgrade on Rocco and Ustadi.
Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
The key here was to get a better goalkeeper. If we weren't going to keep Rocco, and we know, and we know Ustadi's going to be a backup, then I mean, at this point, just getting a better goalkeeper was the key. Now, I don't know if Inter Miami were shooting for the stars, wanting to get somebody internationally from a bigger team, but listen, St. Clair is. Yeah, well, that's another thing, right? Because the MLS is played in the U.S. and Canada. So is that considered international? Even though, I mean, I know it's international, but since the league is within both countries on the same continent, but whatever. But I mean, St. Clair, you're getting the best goalkeeper in the league. We were talking about, what was it? Getting this goalkeeper, what's his name? Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson at some point, because he's going to be a free agent or something like that. I think at this point we're making the jump up in terms of a goalkeeper. Vic is saying he'll be a good backup goalkeeper. There's no way we're getting him, Vic, and he's going to be a backup goalkeeper.
I just looked it up, and Canadians do take up international spots. Oh, look.
That's very interesting.
Just said no, but I just Googled it, and it says yes. So
I didn't think so, because that's why I was like, there's no way he's taking an international spot, because Canadians in a U.S. Canadian league essentially aren't internationals, right? I mean, does that mean that everybody on Toronto's list is an international? Well, no, because they're located in Canada.
U.S. teams, any player on a U.S. team who isn't a U.S. domestic player, which includes Canadians without U.S. residency, count as international players. Canadian teams, Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, have special rules allowing them extra international spots for players with a year of contract in Canada. So they get extra international spots if you are playing in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. So yes, he will take up an international slot.
Well, he lived in Maryland, so I don't know if he has like dual citizenship here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing this. I don't know.
So one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and I wanted your take on this, okay? And maybe Justin, since Justin, I love Justin. You're the best. You have a lot of knowledge, so maybe you can help me out with this, Justin. Again, I like to deep dive, right? And sometimes I don't find anything interesting, so I never bring anything up. This I did find interesting.
I feel like you're just digging for negative stuff, man. I hope it's not negative.
I love to be the contrarian. I love the good debate. So here we go. Let's put one everybody's parade. So Justin, Chris, and everybody in the chat, help me if I'm wrong, because I'm having
everybody is so hype.
Right here, save percentage. I don't know what this stat is, but Minnesota had the lowest in the league at save percentages. Now, I don't know what that means. I know Philadelphia had the best defense in the league, and they had the highest save percentage with Andre Blake when he was healthy. Minnesota had the lowest. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
I don't know if it's a good thing.
I've never looked into this stat, so maybe somebody in the chat can help me. Save percentages, 139.2, the worst in the league. I'm hoping that that's a good thing. I have absolutely no idea if it's a good thing. I'm hoping it's not a bad thing, but it's either the best or the worst. So maybe Justin can help us out here.
No, bring that back up. Bring that back up right now. And Cynical Tube is having a perfect comment. Says this is Battered. This is Danny at his worst. Okay. I'm looking, and you're asking, is it a good thing? I'm looking at the other side of this list. On the top, you have Philadelphia for some reason, which I would assume, okay, Andre Blake, okay, he's a great goalkeeper. But then you have Kansas City and LA Galaxy, who are two of the worst teams. So, I don't know if it's good to be at the save percentage at the top of that list.
That's a good point.
Then you have Houston and Chicago that were leaking goals.
Goals divided by shots on goal.
Goals. You listen, Justin, just tell him if it's a good thing, okay? Because Danny's here fishing for all negative possibilities at this point. Yes.
No, I'm happy. I think it's great, but I feel like you want to see everything, right?
This makes sense right here. What Quasi is saying says Minnesota, being a defensive team, faced the most shots, so most chances of conceding. And says, I think lower is better. I don't know. Listen, MLS is a weird league. Save percentage, I don't know what this is. Inter Miami's in the middle somewhere at 162%. So, that's whatever that counts for. And Minnesota, as far as goals conceded, I can't even find them anymore. Minnesota, as far as goals conceded, is 39.
Okay, so
you heard, Danny?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, 39 goals conceded, Minnesota.
Yeah, no, they were second. So the higher you are, the worse you are. No, the lower.
The higher you are, the worse you are.
The lower.
The lower you are, the worse you are. Wow. Okay. Well, they have one of the lowest goals against. So there's that for you. Yeah, this guy, Loner, you're so right. Danny being a maths lover, and then the thing is, you could make whatever you want out of numbers. Like Danny knows the trick to the trade. Yes.
Well, the beautiful thing about numbers is that they tell you a story, but you can kind of narrate the
Got
story
you
you want to
cynical.
tell. Numbers are very easily
Yeah.
manipulated. Be very careful when somebody's trying to sell you on numbers. No, and
Yeah.
I'm not telling you not to be happy, but why does everybody? What's the bad thing about looking at all sides of the pie? Like, I think it's important to see the good and the bad, so we're not caught off guard.
Because you're trying.
All of a sudden, it's a high line. Oh, 1-on-1 for St. Clair, and he just keeps getting scored on all the time. I'd be like, okay, well, we knew that this was a possibility because he's never faced this before, right? Like, let's be ready. We don't know what's coming. Let's be ready. I think he's going to be great.
Well,
I'm very
guys,
excited.
you guys can't say you don't get your breakdowns here. Okay, like
I don't know
actual
if it was an accurate
good
breakdown.
analytical. All I'm saying, Danny, is you're kind of a high killer. I'm not a big fan of that. And everybody's on a high, and you're here like, oh, let me find some stuff to sort of figure out if he sucks. And you're killing it for everybody. And I don't appreciate that. We just got the best goalkeeper in the MLS. So should we bring a Minnesota fan for the next show to ask about Dayne St. Clair? That would be interesting. We could do that.
Yeah, we
And
knew
I
we were
don't know
going to
if
do this
they'd
in the
want to
morning.
join us.
I would have done it last night, but we didn't have a chance to do it last night. And I would have done it this morning, but it was too early because for them it's like 4 in the morning right now. So I ended up just sending them a message last night, and that's the info that they gave me. But we'll keep looking into this. Look, Miami's not done. We've done all these things over the last 12 days, and we still have a DP spot open, which, by the way, I don't think is going to get filled until the summertime. But we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us because I wasn't expecting this. So yeah, that's it. I got to get ready for a nice work day tonight. The Battered Awards, 10 p.m. Hope everybody can join us live because we're going to be doing live voting. So make sure that you join us for the Battered Awards, aka the Baddies, tonight at 10 o'clock, and it should be a good time. Chris, do you have any final thoughts?
Great morning episode. Rise and shine, guys. Cook up your coffee and let's get to it.
Absolutely. Look, can you imagine other 29 fan bases, how frustrated they are? They're like, oh my God, they cheat. And it's like, okay, here, we're going to bring on the best goalie of the year last year. Oh, and then we'll leave it with this. Shout out to Pedri Pari. I almost forgot. You remember this right here? When it said Minnesota Pink Phony Club. And
I sent it to you.
Like, show a little respect, be elegant in triumph. Oh, well, there you go.
And literally stole your goalkeeper.
He got his get back. So good times. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment. And if you are watching on YouTube, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you join us for the Baddies tonight at 10 o'clock. And for those of you in the chat that joined us early in the morning, much appreciated. You guys are the best. And hope you enjoyed the last almost 30 minutes of Miami Talk, Cafecito with the Herons. And again, we'll be back tonight. So until the next one, have a good one.